Hey, Gopher fans, it's Mike Grimm from Gopher Radio and GopherSports.com, and welcome back. It's another edition of Gopher Talk. It's presented by Affinity Plus, committed to the safety of their members, their employees, and their communities during this time. You can learn more at AffinityPlus.com. And hey, with us is the brand new head softball coach at the University of Minnesota, Piper Ritter. Piper, good to see you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mike. It's very nice to see you.
Yeah, well, how does this feel? This is a program when you think about when you were a high schooler committing to it, an assistant coach for all these years, helping build it, and now as the head coach, you're talking 20 plus years as an association with this program, and now you are in charge. What's that feel like?
I'm very excited. For me, it doesn't change a lot. This is where my heart's been. This is what I've done. Recruiting student athletes to the University of Minnesota is what I've always done. So for me, although it's a different role, it doesn't change a ton. I'm very excited to get to keep my niche in it and get to put, what I want this program and where I see this program to go. So that is what excites me.
How did this all unfold here over the past couple of days? Once Coach Traxel chose to move on to Ole Miss, the job was open. Obviously, Mark Coyle was in charge of the search, and it was finally released here over the weekend that you were the head coach.
Yes. Well, first, I've been through these transitions. So the most important thing is the student athlete. So when Jamie made her decision to leave and go to Ole Miss, I just got the student athletes together and kind of made sure that they were okay and, how we were going to move forward through this. Regardless of who was going to be the head coach, it was kind of about keeping them together and, making sure that, everyone's on board with maroon and gold. So that was most important to me no matter what. And then, having a conversation with Mark Coyle, just kind of letting him know that I'm interested in the head coaching job. And he told me that there's going to be a national search. And then I told him that I would apply and looked forward to showing him what I could do as the head coach.
You mentioned the players and keeping them all on board. I'm guessing it was a bit of a unique challenge this time around compared to the other couple of times in that when you gather them together, it's on a computer screen and not in the locker room or in a meeting room at the Bierman facility.
Well, it's not. It was a lot better. It was a lot easier this time. So they're used to Zoom meetings. We've had weekly Zoom meetings. Sometimes it's 2 times a week. So all the other transitions happen this summer and we're spread out. We're kind of all over the place and not all together. Some people, it might be at work. Some people might be doing some other things, but just with COVID and kind of everyone's a little bit more neutralized in the sense of they can get on their phone and they can get it. It was actually a lot easier to communicate and a lot easier to bring them together and a lot easier for them to have outside communications as one. So this time was I felt went smooth, not just because I'm the head coach, but because I think they were ready and they were prepared. And a lot of them I was proud of a lot of them and the leadership roles that they took during this.
Yeah, and what was their reaction? I would guess they like the idea of someone they know that they are comfortable with, that they've been around, that they've seen have success is now the head coach here. What was their reaction?
They never saw me leaving. I think through all these transitions, I don't think they ever thought that I was going to go anywhere. So yes, as they lost a head coach, even through the transition, and I told them just to hang on there and, they're working to hire the next head coach at Minnesota softball. They never saw I was leaving. So I think when we had the Zoom meeting and I came on and I was announced as their next head coach, I think a lot of them were excited. I think there was some comfort there. And then as always, they wanted to know how we were going to move forward. And I told them, there's a lot of things that they know about me and they know how my reaction to things, but things will change as well. And so I told them that, I'm excited about the staff that I'm putting together and, what the future looks like for Minnesota softball.
Yeah, and that is the next question, going from the role as an assistant where sometimes, and I don't know how it was, how the relationship with players are, but it may change if all of a sudden you become the head coach. And so how may that change? And then how might just the general intricacies of the program change? Obviously, I would guess you're taking ideas from each one of the coaches you played for and coached under and coached with.
Yeah. So, I think that, my role is not going to change. Pitching is the heartbeat of the game. You win in, the circle is very, very important. So, and, I've had some success coaching the pitching role. So, I'm not leaving that role at all. I think it's just a matter of like kind of spreading myself out and making sure I have a heart pulse on everything that we do, the team does. I'm always involved in hitting, whether our pitchers are throwing live or whether, sorry about that. I'm always involved in hitting, just whether they're throwing live or anything like that. But now I'm just going to make sure that I'm kind of around a little bit more with the defense. That's a really good time that the pitchers do all their practices. So I'll have to be creative in that. But I'm confident in the staff that I'm getting, and part of hiring a staff is you hire the people that are really good at their jobs and do something better than you do. So I will find someone who's definitely hitting minded and can run a good defense.
From a logistical standpoint, let's say during game time, for example, obviously you'll be deciding in the fifth inning if a pitcher stays in, maybe if it's a rise ball here on the outside corner, all of those things. Will you also then be deciding we need a pinch runner here, we need a pinch hit here, we need to steal here, we need to bunt here? Will you be coaching third base? I'm sure all those things are things to be considered.
Yes. So I can tell you I won't be coaching third base. There's a lot of conversations that go on between a pitching coach and the pitchers just in between games. And it is a little rushed if I had to go to third base. So, whereas third base is very important, we'll have conversations, the assistant coaches and I, and we'll discuss what we need. And, are we hitting this pitcher? Do we need to maybe make some short game adjustments? Do we need to squeeze if this is happening, or do we just need to keep trusting our bats? So we'll have those conversations in between before we break, and they go to the third base coach goes to third base. But I really think that the pitching and the pitch calling is really important to the game. And I think if you spread yourself too thin, you might not do both very well.
I did want to ask you too, in essence, the season should have been just wrapping up this past weekend. I mean, the hope would be that you guys were raising a Big Ten championship trophy, getting ready now to move into the Big Ten tournament this week. What was the disappointment, and what has the disappointment level been like not being able to carry this out? And how much of a consolation is it to know that many of these seniors will get another shot, including your star pitcher, who you'll be mentoring for a fifth year now, Amber Pfizer? So I'm sure a lot of emotions the last 2 months.
Yes, I mean, I think no one saw this coming, obviously, and it affected sports around the country in a big way. I think that they have, coming back, the seniors, I think they're not going to take anything for granted. I think that's the one thing that when we were sitting in the room, waiting to come back from Hawaii, was you never know, what can happen. You don't, whether it's an injury, whether it's that. Don't take one practice for granted. Don't take one game for granted. And I think they have a really good side of that. And I think they're excited to move forward. They want to get on that softball field. First, I think they want to get out of their houses. Second, I think they want to get on the softball field.
Well, it'll be fun. Congratulations, a hearty congratulations in order again. This is an opportunity that I know a lot of people are excited for you to get. You bleed maroon and gold. You've been part of the program now for 2 decades, and we're excited to see the future, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm excited.
All right, there she is, the head softball coach at the University of Minnesota, Piper Ritter. That is our Gopher Talk. It's presented by Affinity Plus. So long.